Hi, I'm Daniel and welcome to Kai Sound. Today we're going to check out the Harley Benton Fan Fret 7 BBB 2018 DLX. So that was my playthrough with the Harley Benton Fan Fret 7 BBB 2018 DLX. That name is shocking. They need to figure out a better way to name their stuff because there's no way I'm going to be able to remember that if I have to take this again. Slash I've taken this like 25 times now, just because that name. A little bit about the playthrough. It was the Harley Benton running into the 2-note reload into the Audient ID22. I slightly prefer the DI signal coming out of the reload, so that's why I used that. That ran into the Audio Assault Dirt Machine on the Dead Pony setting. I think that the settings will be up here somewhere. From there it ran into the Audio Assault Grind Machine on the Triceratops setting, I think it was that, with an external cab impulse from 3 Sigma Audio into the 3 Sigma Audio Impulsive impulse response loader. I think that was a Soldano cab. Again, the settings will be around here somewhere. There was no processing done to the guitars before they went into any simulation or afterwards. There was some master bus processing of compression and EQ across the whole mix, but there was nothing actually done to the individual guitars themselves. I wanted you to hear what I would describe as the raw tones coming out of the guitar in that situation. And honestly, I think the guitar performs really well. First off, a little bit about it. As you can see and guess from the name, it's a fan fret guitar, meaning that you've got 25.5 inch scale on the high strings and 27 inch scale on the low strings. That gives you a little bit less string tension on the strings you're likely to bend and a little bit more string tension on the strings that are going to be tuned lower. Now in general, I quite like the thought of this because if I've not mentioned it yet, this guitar costs like €300, somewhere in the region of £250 or $340. And the specs on this thing are ridiculous. You have locking tuners, you have a graphite nut, the pickups are pretty good, the bridge is pretty good and nice and adjustable. It's made from, I think it's Basswood with a quilted maple veneer on top. Maple neck with some skunk stripes. Well, technically they're not skunk stripes, are they? They're something else. Again, I'll have the specs running around somewhere for you guys to read because I didn't remember them all. But yeah, the fan fret thing. So, I don't love it, I'll be honest. I think that would go for me in any fan fret instrument, though I don't think that is specific to the Harley Benton. I've never played another fan fret guitar, but I imagine that I get the gist of things from this. But for me, I play mainly in this position. So that means that when I'm down here, my wrist is at a really awkward angle to try and get things fretted properly, and if I fret them like this, it just doesn't feel as nice. And when I'm up high, I have to twist too much, or it doesn't feel quite right. I mean, it's a bit better when I'm up high. But if I played in classical position, or if I stood up more often, it makes sense. It's suddenly very ergonomic and very comfortable. And I think that when you consider that the next fan fret instrument you can get, I think there's an entry-level one from Ibanez that's like, I don't know, £800, £700. I think Agile do some as well, but I've never ordered anything from them, so I'm not sure of the quality. But for €300, this thing is an absolute beast. As you can hear in the playthrough, the tones that come out of it are pretty good. You do have to work a little bit with the dials on your amp, but I honestly think this is, for the money, you'd struggle to beat it. A couple of things I'm not fond of on the actual build itself is, they say this is a graphite nut. So when I strung it up, I didn't bother putting pencil or nut sauce in there to make this make the strings move freely. But I get quite a lot of string skipping with this nut. Now that could be to do with the slots themselves, it could be to do with the angles the strings are going through, but in theory, on any other graphite nut guitar I've got, I don't have string skipping being an issue, ever. So I'm not sure this is a graphite nut. Again, if I put pencil or nut sauce in, it wouldn't be an issue, but I'm not convinced that this is actually graphite. Secondly, the tuners, although they lock, and that's great at this price point, the ratios are pretty low or high, whichever way. It means that a small amount of tuning on the peg makes a big difference in tuning on the string. So that means that you have a sticky nut and some tuners that are a little bit wide in how much they vary when you move them. Leaves you with a guitar that's quite hard to tune, which doesn't help, if I'm honest. But the positive points, I haven't set this up from factory, so intonation wise you heard exactly what came out of the guitar from factory. The action could be a touch lower, but it's good. Everything frets properly, nothing chokes out. It's really quite impressive. I mean, the fact that Tom Mann are able to do this at such an affordable price point is really quite promising. Now, if I was to want to keep this guitar, I think I'd want to change the pickups. I think that they don't quite have as good a sound as you'd want them to, but if you're buying a €300 guitar and expecting bare knuckle sounds out of it, when the bare knuckles themselves would cost about £300, I think you're dreaming here. So this guitar for me would make it's a great way to dip your toe into the water with 7 strings. It's also a great way to dip your toe into the water with fan frets. It's maybe a good backup guitar. If you put maybe just a replacement bridge pickup in this could be a backup touring guitar. But all in all, this thing's pretty brilliant. I mean, I think I might keep it for a little while and maybe do some programming stuff with it. I've got a daft idea about hip hop, but with 7-string guitars in the background. I don't know if it'll work or not, probably won't, but it's worth a shot. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked the playthrough. Like and subscribe if you did. There'll be more content coming out every couple of weeks. I think next up we're going to do a playthrough on this PRS MT15. Don't know if you can see that, but I got that a few days ago and it's tasty. I like that a lot. So anyway, thanks for checking out my channel. I'm Daniel, and this has been Kai Sound checking out the Harley Benton Fan Fret 7 BBB 2018 DLX. Thank you.